anything in support or against the proceedings this morning. It is a clear indication that the Electoral Commission is operating without the input of the chairman. Mr. Chebukati has become a passenger in the commission. And we have read in extenso the affidavit sworn by the vice chair. And that vice chair, she is purported to be the deputy national returning officer, which is illegal in itself. So the first constitutional body that has been disabled by way of conduct of the Jubilee government and the party is the Electoral Commission itself. It is a belief that what is left of the commission is not capable in law and under the Constitution to run any election. And then, to our surprise, the Chief Justice could not mobilize a quorum. And I think the lack of quorum on the part of the Supreme Court is not by coincidence or is not by accident. The gazettement of the 25th of October as a public holiday was part of the design to make sure that these proceedings would not take place. But when the Chief Justice made the order that the proceedings will continue anyway, there was an attempt on the life of the Deputy Chief Justice. And if you don't believe me that it was an attempt on his life, she was not here this morning, which means the events of last night must have deeply traumatized her. The two judges, the dissenting judges in the petition that was earlier had in relation to the presidential elections, the two of them were not available. So all in all, there is an attempt to undermine the authority of the institutions of government, including independent institutions like the Electoral Commission and the Supreme Court. But that is not the end of the matter, because the High Court has this morning given a ruling or a judgment that the appointment of all the returning officer and the deputy returning officers in all the constituencies as gazetted is illegal, which means as we speak now, there are no competent persons, legally competent persons, to preside over the presidential elections in 291 constituencies, because the other constituency caters for the diaspora. These acts of intimidation have gone beyond the courts, beyond the Electoral Commission. In the last 48 hours, there have been attacks, arrests, and detention of various personalities in the opposition, Dr. Halwale being one of them, Governor Kingi in the coast, Senator Mazayo, and quite a number of other people who have to seek safety or get bail, anticipatory bail during this period. So it is really a sad day for Kenya, but if the commission there goes on with the election tomorrow, purported elections tomorrow, it'd be an illegality ab initio because of lack of competence. Because elections are held, presidential elections are held at the constituency. And there will be no competent returning officers at the constituency level. And as NASA's lawyers, our has withdrawn, and NASA as a coalition will not take part in bogus and fraudulent elections. In conclusion, we wish to sympathize and express our disappointment and regret with what happened to the Deputy Chief Justice Deputy Chief Justice yesterday. We wish that she recovers from this violent attack, which was clearly aimed at her, but which unfortunately got her driver, who, as we speak now, I think some people are saying probably he may have passed on, but if that is not the case, we wish that driver a quick recovery. Kenya has never been in this situation, even during the colonial times, in such a state of confusion surrounding an election. And I think Chebukati can't be the solution because he's the returning officer in the presidential elections. I think he should come out today, now, and say the environment and the state of preparedness on the part of IEBC cannot translate into a free and fair elections. And we support him by his election not to be party to what the commission was prepared to say this morning to the court, and to the fact that he had not filed any responses to the application of the petition which has been filed by the petitioners, which means in a way is an acceptance of the allegations and the avowals which have been made in the petition that was to be heard this morning.
On the one hand,
and okay.
On the one hand is a group of Kenyans, about the ones who voted for Kenyatta, who say the electoral cycle must come to an end, that the country is tired, 700 billion shillings lost up to now. Then there is this case which of course has collapsed, and your party which says much more could have been done before tomorrow. So which way, Kenya, in your opinion?
I mean, the way forward is to go by the constitution and the law. The date 26th is not written in the constitution and the law. We still could have gone up to the 1st of November. The fact that they're insisting that the elections must go on tomorrow, despite all the difficulties the country is experiencing, I think is a loud expression. I don't think we have it from what's happened today and what may happen tomorrow.
Court soon, immediately after the elections?
Well, no, this matter is still in court, the one which was filed today. So probably the petitioners may want to take a date. And obviously, riding on the decision the High Court has made today, that there are no returning officers, competent returning officers in place, it would render any election until that matter is regularized to be illegal and null and void ab initio. Yeah.
What are we expecting from you by tomorrow as opposition during the election day?
As far as the opposition is concerned, there is no election tomorrow.
Will you be having protests?
No, there's no election tomorrow as far as we are concerned. No election as contemplated under the Constitution.
Will there be protests today?
Today we are having a rally, and thereafter we'll have a demonstration because we have notified the police. The foreign missions here had given assurances that they had talked to the president and told him that it would be wrong to stop people from carrying out demonstrations. But that remains to be seen. But as we speak here, preparations are going on for the rally at Uhuru Park.
And mass demonstrations tomorrow on the election day?
Well, tomorrow we are just saying there is no election.
Wakili, on one hand, there are people who will still participate in that election, even as you say there will be no election. What is the call then to the supporters, to the national supporters? Is that they allow those who want to participate?
No, it is not a question of allowing those who want to participate. There must be a threshold. The Constitution requires a threshold. It is not any election. And the Constitution says that everybody must be given an opportunity to vote. It is the only time when the public have the right to exercise their sovereignty directly. And therefore, any election is not good enough, but an election in which the majority of the voters participate in the elections, not just a majority, but a substantial majority of the registered number of voters.
Yes,
But if you have that turnout of 40–50%, that in our view would not be a proper election.
There's a feeling you have the chairman in your pocket, the NASA party, NASA coalition.
Well, what do you say of the vice chair and the rest of the commissioners? When they are taking over the powers of the chairman, they must be in some people's pockets. It's an acquisition that can go either way. Asante sana.
Thank you.
Yeah.